Welcome to Women Who Build. I'm your host, Preet Kershaw, and I'm sitting here with our co-host, Andrew Savvy. And we're going to be talking to Natalie today.
Welcome, Natalie.
Thank you, Andrew.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, first of all, thank you so much for having me today. It's a pleasure to be here, and congratulations, Preet. I'm so very proud of you. And Preet has been my success story. I talk about you all the time. But I'm Natalie Williams Grant, and I would describe myself as a thought leader and a business consultant, which I've been doing for over 15 years.
Correct.
I started as an intern in the company I work with, and then I moved up the ladder to an account manager to currently serving as the director of that program. And over these past 15 years, it's been a wonderful journey. Yes. You know, it's allowing me to live my passion, which is to help people identify their concerns, their issues, and developing strategies to resolve those issues.
Yes.
And as I've been doing that, it keeps me going because I'm a teacher at heart, and just imparting information and making a difference has really kept me engaged. And the greatest success is when I sit with you, Preet, one of my greatest success stories. So that has been my motivation over these years.
Wow, that's amazing. And we go a long time back. You've helped me.
Yes, we do.
When I was getting started.
That's right.
And I've always, spoken to you, call you when I need help or anything. And, you got me off my feet, basically. So, yeah, thank you.
You're very
been,
welcome.
Quite some time since we've known each other. Mm-hmm. And particularly what you do is good for anyone who is looking to start a business today, who's looking to get certified. And you're a specialist at this and you know what to do. So tell us a little bit about what your business does.
Okay, so we will assist any individual or business that's interested in accessing the minority certification. In New York City, there's the MWBE certification, which allows businesses that have been in operation for at least 1 year. They've filed at least 1 year's business tax returns. They meet the eligibility requirements. And though for the business who is uncertain about what needs to be done, it's very simple. All you need to do is to prove that you're a resident or citizen of the United States. You have a legally registered business that's been in operation for at least 1 year. You've filed at least 1 year's business taxes, and you're living your business, meaning that you haven't just registered a name, but you're actually operating your business. And since this is Women Who Build, I want to say, especially for women owners in a male-dominated sector, sisters, you got to show them you know your stuff.
Correct.
Keeping it real.
Now, and it's so interesting that how you said it, because it seems so simple. But now we've seen across the industry that it's not so simple. It's actually people are not getting the information that they need to get to go about this. A lot of different services offer some type of pipe dream service, which is not the correct way to go about it. Mm-hmm. What are you seeing as like the gaps in the industry of why people aren't getting the information that they need, so that way they can certify the right way?
I'd say one of the missing links is that business owners need to take accountability for their outcomes. Know exactly what you want. The City of New York provides these services. Get in touch with the agencies that are approved by the City of New York, because there are many entities that will be there. And when you go in and someone is going to charge you a fee, you have to make sure that you're getting your money's worth. And unfortunately, that's not the case. The City of New York, again, provides the centers that will help and professionals who are experienced, who have been trained in these areas, knowing the requirements. And one of the best practices that I share with our customers is think about it in a realistic way. If you're seeking to be certified, basically what you're saying to the city is that I'm an expert in what I'm doing. Your role as a business owner is that you need to be able to document that, demonstrate that with evidence.
Correct.
So I'm still old-fashioned in my approach because now everything is automated. But for me, as Preet would know, when we met, Preet came in with stacks of paper. But when we were finished,
Yes.
we had an organized package.
Yes.
And I still use that because it's work. It works.
Correct. And what she did also was that she made me put it together. She didn't do it for me. She
Oh, good.
explained to me what needed to get done and the orders, and I put it together. I went to her quite a few times just until I got it right.
And actually, I think that's very valuable because how you just said, there are people that can charge for the service, but then if the owner themselves don't know how to do it, then they're always at someone else's, command.
Yes.
And such. And, especially on how you said that a lot of these ways to get certified is free. The city of New York actually has these programs. It's self-sufficient to actually get certified instead of going in such. That's a great way, to start off the foundation of how you get certified.
Yes.
That is true. And then, of course, there are professionals like myself who will be available to assist small businesses that need that extra hand holding.
Of course.
Because, working with the city, I think for a lot of businesses that have great potential, it's a level of intimidation.
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to work with the city. Can I really do it? But there's so many opportunities that are available. You don't need to bid for or compete for a $10 million or $100 million contract. You start small. And by starting small, you earn the acknowledgement. So you do your best work with small contracts, 500, 5,000, 10,000, 25,000. And then those from out of those contracts, based on the quality of service and the products that you've delivered, then you will win over those customers. And those are automatic referrals for you. And you can use those as the foundation to demonstrate that you have the capacity to earn revenue, because that's what's important.
Correct.
You're able to sign in on a contract and you honor your commitment for that. That's what the city is looking for.
Nice.
Correct. And another specialist that your business can do also is startups, for example. You can definitely help, anyone who's looking to start a business, or if you've just started a business, you're not sure, Natalie is the best person to contact. She can help you out.
Indeed. I'd say I work with you from soups to nuts. So if you're uncertain about what you need to do and understanding the role of your business, the benefits, structuring your business, and not only just registering the name of a business, but unfortunately, there are a lot of third-party entities that are out in the market right now that are offering misleading information. And for example, the simplicity of a corporation, many businesses are not aware that even though you may have registered the name of your business, it doesn't automatically mean that you are the owner of the business.
How so?
Very interesting indeed. You have to assign the shares because the business, the corporation, and the LLC, which is a limited liability company, they're independent. They can operate independent of the owner. And in order for you to establish the ownership or assign the ownership, there are legal documents, for example, the share certificates.
Correct.
So once I work with a small business, I'd ensure that you have your corporate kit. And once you've done that, your bylaws for the corporation or your articles of organization for the LLC, along with your units, that's your membership certification, or your share certificates must be assigned to you.
Correct.
Otherwise, the ownership of the business stays with the business.
And I'll be the first one to say that, all right, well, start an LLC and it's almost everything automatic. But now what would be now let's just say what I just said. I started an LLC. I did not do it the proper way by actually assigning myself shares. What is the pitfall? What is the, ramifications from that? Because as I'm understanding it, that means if I just started an LLC, don't really have ownership of my LLC. So what consequences of that?
Some consequences could be, people are always going around taking other people's business. If they can get a hold of your information, they assign those shares, they assign amend the certification and all of those things. They're basically assigning ownership to themselves. So recently we came across a situation where the owner, he's a male, he registered a business, had his certificates, but there was one person that removed a certificate from his batch. And even though he had certificate number 1 assigned to himself, The next one would be blank. And if this person should go ahead and assign that certificate to themselves, then he would have a challenge because it's accountability.
Wow.
So even for applying for a certification, if that certificate number 2 is missing, then you have an issue because right there, there's a gray area.
Yes.
So, our process is that we'd always, even though we may know about the process with the LLC structuring and the corporation, we always refer our customers to see and speak with a lawyer.
Wow.
Because legal advice is free of charge. And there are a lot of people who are still not aware of that.
A lot of people do not know
floored.
this.
I'm
Yes.
floored at this
Yes.
point.
So I knew about this from her, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah, I did the same thing like she said, or the certificate.
Yes, you really do have to assign ownership
Correct.
to yourself.
I have to say right off the bat, one of the first guests on this podcast, and already like sharing information that is
Yes.
super valuable.
A lot of people don't know this. They're
Indeed.
probably having that binder sitting there, not realizing how important that is.
It's very important.
Someone could steal those certificate and go on with it, and you'd have fraud happen. And it's like, what do you do?
It's an open door that you really want to keep closed.
Correct.
And just to say, for individuals who are interested in launching your LLC, it's good to have an LLC, but please make sure you complete the process. The second mishap is that a lot of persons who register an LLC, they have not completed their publication.
Correct.
And the publication is a legal requirement here in New York. And they would say, okay, we will go to other states and we will register a LLC because it's not required there. However, coming back to operate in New York, you have an issue
need to
because
do
you'll be
it.
considered as a foreign entity. And the tax system is totally different. So register your LLC in New York.
Yeah.
Complete the 6-week publication because it provides you the opportunity and the coverage for you to take full advantage of the limited liability protection that the LLC will offer as a structure.
Wow.
So do
So there's so
companies
much to work.
face any kind of legal issue if they don't do the publication through the newspaper?
The legal issue could be as a result of if they have been sued and they
Okay.
have not completed their publication, then the limited liability protection that the LLC would offer them
Right.
might be impacted.
Okay.
But what we have done over the past years is that if we interact with someone that has not completed their publication, we would refer them to a lawyer to have that
Okay.
conversation because you can still complete your publication.
Yep.
Once you have an LLC and you want to take advantage of the full benefits
Correct.
of the LLC, then you can still complete your publication.
That's good to know.
Actually, it's extremely wealth of information because most people start an LLC and they say to themselves, it's outdated. Why am I doing a publication? Why am I doing stock shares? There's so many people I know that don't even buy the stock kit or the stock
Certificates. Yes, you do
And
need to.
those two things, from what I'm understanding right now, ultimately protect you.
Correct.
They do.
Wow.
They do.
Yeah. It's very knowledgeable.
Yeah, and it's not being taught or
No,
being shared.
Definitely not.
I'm saying from my own personal experience. Now I think tomorrow I'm going to be doing a publication because I never did that with my own LLC.
Yes, you are required to do your publication. A lot of persons may be deterred from completing the publication because of the cost factor. But again, it's a one-time charge.
Correct.
And it's for the life of the
When
LLC.
I did mine a long time ago, but the trouble was not the price, it was getting in contact with the newspaper itself. That was the problem.
So
That actually,
to bridge that gap,
Yes.
the structure or the standard process is once you have registered your LLC and you got your file and receipt, take it to the county clerk's office in the area that you'll be operating. So
Okay.
we're out in Long Island. Take it to the county clerk's office in the county that you're in,
Okay.
and ask for the certified list. They have a list of certified publications, and while you can advertise in any newspaper, it will not be acknowledged unless it is on that list.
This is interesting.
So,
because I
yes.
didn't do that. I literally was calling from the yellow book at that time.
No.
I don't remember how many people I called.
Right.
And I think it took me like a whole month to just get I think it was 2 that I needed or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. And I was like, this is like, how do I finish this?
Yes.
And then it's another process because you have to wait like 6 to 8 weeks to
That's
actually
correct.
get the paperwork. But look at that. You could
And also the icing on the cake is, so the publication has been done. At the end of the 6 weeks, the publishing companies will send you a document that's called an affidavit. You'll need to register or file that affidavit with the completed certificate of publication to the state of New York. And it's after
Yep.
that your LLC is completely registered.
I have a lot to do, work to do this weekend on my own LLC, but that's so interesting.
Yes. And that is the first step.
Wow.
That is the first step.
Look at that. So, especially for someone new who's, trying to start a business, it doesn't matter whether it's construction or non-construction, but these are all the process that has to be followed. So definitely, speaking with someone who knows these steps would be a good first step to starting a business in the first
Indeed,
place.
it is.
It helps to know whether you're doing everything the right way, not the wrong way. Because the very beginning, no one dream of their business becoming so big, right?
Right.
And if you do it the wrong way and then you're there now, then you have problems down the line. You're like, oh my goodness, I did not do that.
Exactly. But always it's important, once you're a business owner, speak with a lawyer. Speak with a lawyer. It's always
Correct.
important
Yes, legal
to
advice.
speak with a lawyer, and also, most importantly, a lawyer that knows about corporate law, because that way you'll ensure that you have the right
covered.
information.
Correct.
And again, third-party companies, there's some that everything that you need to do, they will charge you.
Yes.
But unfortunately, they don't offer you advice,
Correct.
which is so very important.
Yes.
Getting the work done is important, but knowing why I need to complete this,
Correct.
or why do I need to complete that? Why is this document important? What do I need to do with it? How do I use it to protect myself?
Yep.
Those are the missing links. So again, it's important that when you are working with, or when you're planning to start your business or operate and expand your business, then you need to work with a professional who knows.
Correct.
And that's like the foundation, of any business is the starting point. So, I mean, that's, doing it the right way from the beginning.
Correct. And that's where a lot of small businesses too, they have problem is the structuring of the company too. Is that, people overlooked it, that it's so easy just to do everything online. But the simplest thing is just getting it to be legal and, you're in compliance. Just being in compliance. That's the main thing.
That's it.
And now with those, jump off from that, as far as setting up your business, what other advice do you have to do it the right way? I've heard things like operating agreement or anything like that. Like right now, you just gave us a recipe to have the solid foundation to build, to start your business the right way.
Right.
What would your advice be on, say, the next steps to just continue going to make sure it's done properly the whole way through?
Well, the rest of the structuring process is to ensure that all the supporting legal documents have been established. You mentioned operating agreement. That would be for the LLC, which basically would provide an overview. If it's a single-owned LLC, then sometimes you'll find standard jargons. It provides you an overview of how the LLC should be operated. Meeting dates, while you're not required to have an annual meeting for your LLC compared to the corporation,
Correct.
but just documenting your vision, where will your main office be? What are your services? Where do you have your bank account? All of those basic information will be in your operating agreement. So should you look in the future to add additional owners who will be considered, called, or referred to as members of the LLC, this information is there. You can share it with them. They'll have it documented. So your operating agreement is important for the LLC. You also need to have we talked about the membership certificates, the operating agreement. Then you want to make sure that all of your legal documents are kept in a safe space.
Correct.
Remember, don't laminate your legal documents, okay? But you want to make sure that you keep them all in one place. Your EIN is important, right? It's free of cost from the IRS, Internal Revenue Service. And you keep those. So if you're going out to an appointment, you're going to be discussing your business, you can just pull your folder and it's all there. Now, for the corporation, on the other hand, the bylaws will be the Bible of the corporation.
Correct.
Okay.
Because in the bylaws, it provides you the outline, the overview of operations, key information about, what is the corporation about, where your offices are, who the shareholders are. And so What are their rights and responsibilities? Now, in addition to having your bylaws, if you have multiple owners, we always recommend that you have a partnership agreement. So that's a substitute or an additional document to just formalize in your structure. Because with the partnership agreement, each owner, each shareholder will know what their responsibilities are in the formation of the operations of, and should they decide to part ways with the company, then there will be guidance as to what is the first step that needs to be done.
Correct.
Who has signing rights to the business bank account.
Correct.
Very important.
That is very important.
So again, overall, having the supporting documents for your business after registering the name is of paramount importance.
Correct.
Awesome.
And are you able to also provide support or help for anyone who is looking for grants, where they could find grants for small business or business that's just started? Are you able to provide that as well?
We do. We are able to. The grants, I'd say, that we have seen in the market right now are more supporting the operating business, because the grants are ways that you can supplement your revenue. And even though sometimes you may find that they are for a minimal amount, but can you imagine getting a grant of $5,000 and it's free of cost in the sense that you're not paying taxes on it right away or so?
Yes.
Then that $5,000 is added working capital for you.
Correct.
You know?
Especially for a small business.
Exactly.
That is a good help for them to start off with.
Indeed. And there are multiple grants that are available that you can review. There are times we do have, in my professional capacity, we have access, knowing, which grants are available, and we will share that information with our customers and encourage them. We have information sessions with the organizations that are offering the grants, so they'll know what the application process is like.
That's nice. That's good to know.
Yeah.
A lot of things, a lot of people don't know what's available.
I'm here the whole time just learning everything. So that's fantastic information.
Yes.
And
indeed.
lastly, Natalie, so tell us a beauty secret or a beauty cream or something that you're using right now that you're loving, to keep your skin going good in this busy world. Corporate world, you're busy, you have children, you're always on the go. So what are you using and what keeps you going? What's your secret?
I'd say what keeps me going is just the passion for what I do. I believe that I'm living my passion.
Yes.
Being able to impart information to others and seeing the positive outcome. The smiles. I would say the light bulb comes on. Where beauty is concerned, I like my eyeshadow.
What type is it?
Ultra Girl, Ultra Beauty.
Yes.
I'm very simple. I keep it simple.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I
Your
find
skin
something
looks
that I
great.
like. And what I've realized recently was I wanted a certain color. And my sons are very good at blending colors, color coordination. And I found myself dabbing a little color of this with a little color of that and getting the shade that I wanted.
There
and I'm
you
like,
go.
oh, there you go.
You can just create your own shade.
Exactly. So I keep it simple.
You look great,
Fantastic.
definitely.
Yes, you do.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Yes. And thank you for being with us today. And I'm sure we're going to have you in the future. Guys, we're going to have information down at the bottom so you can contact Natalie herself. She is a professional, is what she do. I've known her for a long time. Highly recommend, if you're starting a business, you've started out, contact Natalie. Any help. She's a very helpful person. She's professional also, and she's a woman. So we'll have your information at the bottom. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Natalie.
Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure for being here.
Yes.
Continued success.
Thank you.